What? How you doing? Do you remember yesterday I said that we were going to have guests around today? I was wrong. I've lost a day somewhere. Today's Friday, isn't it? I don't know why. I was sure that we were having guests come around today. Sure of it. Saturday they're coming around. So with that realization, I was like, oh well, okay. And then I get a. Because the boys spent last night at mum's because they're traitorous little sod bags. I get a phone call from my mum. Boys want to know if they can stay again tonight. Well, I mean, is that really okay? Yeah, it's fine. But so they've abandoned me again, little sods. They've been round. We've hung out for a bit. I got jumped on by them. Mum took some photos. Almost knocked Big Ben out on the wall. He jumped on me and I grabbed him and he was on my shoulder and I almost, just as we almost fell sideways and almost, he said to me, ah, his brain! Of course, none of that on the vlog. None of that on the vlog. I hung out with Inky for a fair bit and we took the dog out and she had to go to work really early today. So I'm just like, and Mum brought around some packaging so I could send back that dodgy capture card from the other day. I spoke to DeWald a couple times today because he's looking to buy. He bought a Dell burner laptop. I recommended the Dell for him because the accessories are cheaper and there's no whitelists and stuff. And he's trying to figure out what he can really do with it. Which led me on to one of my projects for today. I would try and live stream with the X230 because the X230 is the weakest of the ThinkPads that we have here that supports my capture cards. And because we know my i7 T430s will stream with no problem at all, none, zero, zip. You know, quad core i7s, pretty decent. You should be able to do 720/30, 720/60 with very little trouble, depending on the game and the quality settings and stuff like that. And so I was like, alright, well, we'll have a go. We'll have a go. 4 gigs of single channel RAM. We're basically now repeating the story of the T430 back in the day, if anyone remembers. And when I first upgraded the T430, it wasn't performing quite how we thought it would. And a few little tweaks completely changed how it performed. But, you know, I started doing some tests because DeWalt was playing Street Fighter Third Strike. He called me up and told me about Third Strike being on sale on the Xbox. I was like, okay, cool, fair that. I will admit I was a bit ratty with DeWalt earlier because, you know, you give DeWalt a tiny bit of information and he he was like, yeah, I'm going to recommend my mate get this laptop and that one and this and all that stuff. And I was like, no, don't recommend any of those to him because they're not computer literate, they're not computer savvy, they're not hardware savvy, and if you buy those, they got whitelists on them, and I know you say they won't, but if they go out and buy something for it that isn't whitelisted, it's not going to work, and all that kind of stuff. Give them options, but rob them the chance of doing something stupid. Anyway, I said to him I'd test the X230 to see how well we could stream on it. I didn't have high hopes for it, to be honest with you, because it's about the same spec as my X240. I think my X240 is running single channel RAM as well, but that's an Ultrabook processor and it can't stream for balls. You have to change your CPU encoding preset speed to something like, I think it starts at very fast and then you can change it to like super fast and ultra fast. And the faster you make it, the less work it makes the processor do. But by the same token, it also drops the quality of the video. You can compensate for that by increasing the bit rate, which the amount of data that you feed the video file. So that, like, you know, where it's losing quality because it's very quickly checking each frame of data, you can say, because it's like, oh, I've only got this amount of space to put it in, so just throw all this away because I haven't got enough time to analyze it. Instead, you just say, look, here's a bigger container, stick it all in, stick everything you can fit in there, go. So I connected up the machine. I set the capture cards. I set up the capture cards. I tried like 1080, 1080 30. So I was certain it wouldn't do 60, 720 60, 720 30, 480 60, 480 30 in there. And various games set the capture card to like 720p, 480p, 1080p. Ideally, you want it to match the source, and the source games were like Street Fighter and stuff, so it would have been 1080, 60p. But that was enough to completely kick the ever-loving crap out of the processor that would just instantly overload the encoder. So, which is pretty much what it was doing on the T430, back even when we upgraded the T430 back in the day. It was a bit of a. I even tried VA API, which is Video Accelerated API, which is a video encoder using the graphics card, and even then in single channel RAM, it just overloads. Pretty much regardless of what you run it on, it's just going to overload if you have the capture card set to like high quality and stuff like that. So I got this random idea. I mean, look, I said, look, you can do 720 30 on like the super mega ultra fast preset, like as low as you can go on the menu, which is like as high as you can go on the menu. The slower it goes, like if you go to like slow and very slow and stuff like that, rather than fast, that means the processor takes even longer with each frame, or uses more grunt to check each frame to encode, and you need a really beefy processor for that. So we're going the fastest you can possibly go. I'll do 720, I'll do 30. You're cool there. You ain't gonna get it to do. You ain't even gonna get it to do 480 60p. Video accelerated API is gonna be completely bollocks on it. Just 720 30, just because you can get. And I was like, you know what? I'd like to try something that I did with the T430. I'd like to try dual channel memory. Maybe I should take the memory out of the T430 and put it into the X230. But to do that, you have to take the keyboard off the T430 because one of the memory slots is on the top side. One on the bottom, one on the top, on opposite sides on the motherboard. And so I really can't be asked to do that because it means pretty much taking apart a large chunk of the laptop. That wouldn't take a huge amount of time, but it's just effort that I didn't really want to do. So I gave up on the idea, and I thought, hang on, we've got the ASRock B-Box. Little tiny, like square, like a cube computer, like about that big, that I used to use for servers, and it was initially one of my test machines for using Linux. And that thing was capable of using, or playing back 4K 30 video. The T430 can do the same thing when you put in dual channel memory. Dual channel memory is magical. It makes everything faster. If you're using integrated graphics cards, it makes them perform so much better. Faster the memory, and having it in dual channel, the better it is. So if you put the B-Box in single channel, it can't play 4K 30. It just can't do it. Same with the T430 laptop. You can have a really powerful processor in there, but if the memory isn't in dual channel, it won't play anything back. It was really kind of an eye-opener way back when we first got the T430, like a year or so ago, or however long it was, that the processor wasn't the thing doing all the work here. The graphics card sure was doing work, but we didn't quite click how good these graphics cards could be if you stuck in the extra RAM to make them quicker. You know what I mean? Or how much better they would be if you put dual channel RAM in. So I took apart the B-Box, pulled the sticks of RAM out, and we had 4 gigs of single channel, 4 gig, one stick in the X230. The B-Box had 2 gigabyte sticks. So I just took those out, put them in the 230. So we had the same amount of RAM, but we were now in dual channel. Well, it will now do 720p 60. Video accelerated API, I'll just go, yep, 720 60, not a problem. And we're scaling video down from 1080 60. That's pretty insane. That's pretty insane. All of that extra performance, no extra RAM, just literally putting RAM in dual channel gives all that extra performance. In fact, because I did say to DeWalt, I would try and stream with the X230 today, which is the lowest end machine I have at the moment that supports my capture cards. It's a £99 laptop. Let's try and stream something with it. And I'm going to do that in a minute. I uploaded some tests to DeWalt, showing like 720 30, 480 60. He did say that the text was wrong. or janky on some of them, like they weren't sharp, the text was blocky on screen. I said, that's entirely my fault. I had the capture card set at 1920 by 1200, not 1920 by 1080. It was processing more resolution and the scaling went funny, so the text looked weird. But, so in theory, it was doing more work on the processor runs. When it was set to that resolution, it was encoding on the processor. So, oh my god, performance. Oh my god, performance. I uploaded the test, he checked, thought it was alright. I'll do a stream test in a minute. And magic. But that's pretty much, this is going to be all my day is, to be honest with you, because, like I said, Mum has taken the package that I need to send back off to get that refund, the dodgy capture card. Inky went to work early. We don't have guests coming around today. The boys have come and gone. That was really cute seeing the boys, though. And Inky's gone out tonight as well. So after work, I think she finished work at like 8, half 8. She's probably not going to be home until like 11, 12 o'clock. So I am literally going to be sat here rocking backwards and forwards going, oh, Penny, no, mates! Ah! Like that. Oh! And just one random thing to note, whilst I was uploading those files to DeWald, because I uploaded them to his NAS on his home network, I sent DeWald my collection of Street Fighter soundtracks way back in the day. They say way back in the day, it was like a couple months ago, some time ago. And I wasn't sure if I had SVC Chaos' soundtrack. I tried to buy a bootleg copy of that soundtrack off eBay and they never fucking sent it to me. I was furious about it. But I had the collection I gave him had like CVS 2, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, Street Fighter Third Strike, Street Fighter Alpha, all the ones that the DeWald likes. And I was looking through the file and I was like, let me just check, because CVS 2's here. SVC Chaos! Download that, so I've now got the SVC Chaos soundtrack. I've got it somewhere here on the network, I just don't know what machine I've put it on. But I've downloaded it again from DeWald, and it's on the X230, so I can put it on my MP3 player, because I love that soundtrack. Love that soundtrack. Oh, Violent Ken with his lazy ass fucking Hadouken. I'm gonna go stream and see how this stuff works. Wish me the luck. So rad, though. Dual channel RAM. Magic. Post-stream snack. Well, that was a bit of a fail, the stream. I pretty much disproved all of the tests I'd done up to that point. Start the stream at 72060. The recording seemed to be fine. Using the same settings as the stream encoder for recording and streaming. Same settings across both. And start the stream, fire up Street Fighter Alpha, and all of a sudden encoder is overloaded. Okay, now note that this is scaling 1080p 60 from the capture card down to 720p 60. But it did, no joy. Set it to 720/30, it's fine. A few hiccups, but it's fine. Later on I tried, after the stream, because I played like Street Fighter Alpha 2, Street Fighter Third Strike. No, we weren't doing one credit runs this time, but I beat, after filling the machine with credits, we beat Alpha 2, Third Strike, and got wrecked in Alpha 3. But I then decided, after the stream, that I'd try again, using different settings, changing the capture card to 720/60 rather than having it scale. No joy on the stream. It would then say that it couldn't record in 720/60 either. Even though I have footage of it doing 720/60. Bizarre. Maybe it's thermal throttling. I don't know. Could do with faster RAM. Maybe. I don't know. But 720p is pretty reasonable, regardless of whether or not it's 60 or 30. 720/30 is still pretty good considering the machine. Tried 480/60, And I'll tell you something, 480p doesn't actually look that bad when you're only watching it on a 1366 by 768 screen or on a mobile phone screen. Text is a little fuzzy, and web cameras look shite, but it'll do it. So that's always a bonus. I'm tempted to try fiddling with a few more settings to see if I can maybe possibly get it to work. I'm not going to put money on being able to get it to work, but if I could get it to do 720/60 for a period of time, that would be absolutely great. Absolutely great. Wouldn't aim for anything higher, but that would be brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Now, that's it. It's everything I've done. Inky came home from work and then went straight back out. Hopefully she has a good night. She could do with a good night, to be fair. She could do with something fun and nice happening. Tomorrow we might have Inky's friends, her friends come around with their boy. I've walked the dog. My boys have betrayed me. And I'm going to go and have a shower and get to sleep. Oh, Bluetooth. Just a random note, because I've been fiddling with the laptops all day. I've had to apply that fix that I had to do to the T430. I had to do that to the X230 as well. It turns out it's a pulse audio dealio, whereby GDM, you don't need to know what that is, but I use GNOME. GDM and your desktop environment, there seems to be two instances of pulse audio. It's the thing that controls audio and on a lot of Linux distributions, and it seems that whichever one grabs the speaker first basically denies the other one access, the ability to see it. So if the first instance grabs it, when I then go to change the setting to output to the speakers from the settings menu, well, the speaker won't be there. So that little patch will that little command that's put in the other day will literally disable one instance. So there's only one instance running, and so then the thing will always come up in the list to allow you to choose which speaker you're using. Yeah, not a particularly productive day, but it's been a laugh. It's been fun. I can't play on Samurai sticks to save my life anymore. I'm shit at Street Fighter. But I'm gonna head off. Hope you all. I'll see you all with a look.